What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Big Brother, season 24, episode 11. I guess I missed a couple of episodes because I didn't realize we were on episode 11, but we are here. Actually, I did, because I did that double episode as one review instead of breaking it up into two. Okay, we're here. Moving on. So, as you know, last week we had probably one of the best blindsides in Big Brother history. Not the best, not the only, unlike some people, but one of the best, only because people really truly did not see it coming. People really truly did not figure out that the tables had turned in the house, and honestly, they still ain't figured it out. I thought it would be pretty obvious, but they're still confused as hell, so that's fine. Amira goes out on the blind side. Everybody is left dumbfounded. But, of course, in Big Brother, you got to immediately jump in and get ready for HOH. We can talk about it later. We can try to figure it out later. But we need to be in game mode. So they were trying, they had a few minutes, while we went on commercial break or whatever. And you see Nicole and Alyssa talking. And they asked Michael. And Michael was like, yeah, I did. They were like, did you vote to Amira out? He was like, yeah, I did. And they were like, we appreciate your honesty. And his thing was, listen, I'm going to go ahead and tell the truth now because it's going to eventually come out. And in this way, I can sort of just be like, well, look, I was honest about it. Again, Michael, see, you can tell people who really are super fans because of how they're playing the game. He really is a super fan because he gets it. Like, yes, I'm in this alliance, and yes, this is great. But at the end of the day, when all of this falls apart, I still have to play my individual game. And what my game tells me is, let me go ahead and be honest with these people that, yes, I voted for Amir. I don't have to tell them why. I don't have to tell them what was going on behind the scenes, but I'll be honest about it. I like Michael, and I like Michael to win. I'm not saying he will win, but I like him to win. I like his odds. I like how he's playing the game. Of course, Nicole is pissed off, and she's mad talking about, I wasn't even given a chance to say goodbye. Girl, what? I mean, I really wish, they at least could have given me a chance to say goodbye. Is that in the Big Brother rules? That they have to tell you, blindside by definition means nobody sees it coming, i.e. a blind side. She was my best friend in the house. Again, reason why they didn't tell you. Now, I know that there are times when they tell people, they did it a couple of weeks ago with Joseph and Pooch and all that stuff. But let's be clear, y'all thought y'all had the votes to keep Amira. So why would anybody come to you and tell you so that you could get the heads up? And now everybody's campaigning. Ain't nobody got time for that. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. And if you're as much of a super fan as you claim to be, then you get it, you understand, dust yourself off, and let's keep it moving. Now, trying to figure out who it is, that absolutely is important. But all this, you mad because they ain't give you an opportunity to say goodbye, child, bye. Y'all, I'm sure y'all exchange phone numbers or y'all find each other. Y'all gonna see each other. Y'all be all right. So, we go into the HOH competition. So, the HOH competition is in two parts. The first part is they having these envelopes falling from the sky, and only 8 people can advance to the actual HOH competition. Out of the invitations, if you get a red invitation, then you advance. The first 8 people to find a red envelope, they move forward. What's funny is the first person to find a damn red envelope was Jasmine's ass. Listen, I don't like Jasmine. I'm disappointed because I really thought I was going to like Jasmine. But she is really reminding me of Nicole. That whole country bumpkin, I'm going to pretend like, oh gosh. Like this whole little, I just got around a can of beans. Like, I don't like it. I feel like she's exaggerating that countryism to try to put across this whole, like, I'm going to be the country girl act. I don't like it. And it's very, very Nicole-ish to me. And Nicole, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, you're just not going to fool me again. Shout out to George W. Bush. So, everybody's trying to get the envelope. So first we have Jasmine, Terrence, Monty, Joseph. The last one came down to Alyssa and Indy. Alyssa made it to the mat first. Daniel and Nicole, and who else? Is one more person playing? Hold on, let me try it again. Nicole, Terrence, Brittany. Brittany's the other person playing. So everybody else is out of it, and now it goes to that. So the part 2 is we've seen this before where they have to slide something across the table, and where almost like shuffleboard, and wherever it lands is the points that they get. If it falls off the table, then obviously they don't get the points. There are 3 different tables. They have 30 seconds to do it. Whoever has the most points at the end of everybody trying wins. And if there's a tiebreaker, then it'll go to the points. I mean, if it's a tiebreaker, then it'll go to the time. Whoever did it the fastest, right? So when you look at alliances, there are more people on the block. I mean, there are more people that are playing in the game that are with the girls' alliance than, or perceived alliance with the girls, than this leftover alliance, because we have Alyssa, Daniel, Nicole, Terrence, who was with them last week, right? Brittany, who they think is with them. So you have the 5, and Jasmine, right? But we know that Brittany's not really with them. She's with the leftovers. And Terrence, now that he's with the boys, because remember, he got a chance to choose who he was going to be festy besties with, and he chose Monty and Joseph. They may be able to corrupt him, right? So he's sort of like a wild card at this point. Then, yeah, and that's it. So anyway, and this is sponsored by the movie The Invitation, so that's where this whole thing comes from. So we get to playing the game, and so Alyssa goes first, and she gets a decent score. I think she had like a score of 4 or something like that. Decent, not great, whatever. So then Nicole comes behind her, and Nicole gets a score of 9. So of course that's like the score to beat. Nobody else gets close to beating her until we get to Monty. Well, Monty ends up getting a score of 11 with only 2 people left to go behind him. It was Jasmine, and then it was Terrence. Neither one of them beat his score. And so Monty is now the new HOH, which means we have 2 weeks of the leftovers, which means they can pick another person off of the list, right? So we go back into the house, and the ladies again are trying to figure it out. They're like, oh my gosh, what happened? We're blindsided. Who did this? Who can we trust? Blah, 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 blue, 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 you, da, 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 da. Now, if you guys remember when Amira left out the house, she whispered something in Jasmine's ear. Now, this didn't come out on the show. This came out on me watching the live, reading through Twitter. But allegedly, what Amira said to Jasmine was for her not to trust Nicole and Daniel. Which is interesting because Nicole is like, that was my best friend. That was my best friend. But again, Amira doesn't know that Nicole didn't have anything to do with The Blind Side. I mean, she knows now because she done been home and had a chance to watch it. So, Monty is now trying to figure out what the plan is. So it's funny, he did his whole HOH room reveal, and everybody was hanging out, and the leftovers are waiting for the non-leftovers to leave so they can talk and celebrate. And as soon as the last non-leftover left, of course they had this whole jumping around silently and all that good stuff. And then they get to talking strategy, which I love that about this alliance. Listen, this alliance probably only has about 2 more weeks before they have to start picking off their own, especially with this festy bestie, which we know Big Brother, that's not going to last forever. That's going to last maybe about 2 more evictions, and then they're going to have to reshuffle and do something else. But Monty has to figure out now who's the next target and how are we going to maneuver it, because the biggest problem is with the festy besties, who's paired with who. Now, immediately Joseph and Terrence are no bueno because they're festy besties with Monty. Boom, they're out of here. That leaves us with who is our target. The target is Nicole. The problem with Nicole being the target is she's paired up with Taylor. And I can respect the fact that that Monty is like, listen. And I know part of this is probably a little bit of guilt on his part that, he didn't believe Taylor from the beginning. And he sort of kicked off the Taylor hate train, or at least helped Paloma kick off the Taylor hate train. So what he's saying to Taylor is this. He's like, listen, at the end of the day, he said, who do you want? Who is it that you want to go home? Taylor wants Nicole out, but Taylor doesn't want to sit on the block again. And I don't blame her. The girl has been on the block 3 out of the 4 weeks or 5 weeks they've been in this damn house. I don't blame her for not wanting to be on the block. Even though, we're pretty certain they have the votes to vote out Nicole unless something crazy happens over the next couple of days to flip the House again. But he said, well, listen, I'm going to put up Brittany and Indy because that's my safe spot. Because, I mean, not Brittany, excuse me, Alyssa and Indy. Because ultimately, I can get Alyssa out this house. But I really want Nicole, but I'm not going to do it if you're not comfortable. If you tell me you don't want to go up on the block, we will not backdoor Nicole, and Alyssa is going to be our target, and we'll just have to try for veto and make sure we keep the noms the same. However, I do think it's best for everybody's game in the long run for us to try to take a swing at Nicole now, which it is. It is absolutely, because if you swing at Nicole now, Daniel is floundering because he has put all his eggs in the basket with Nicole. Jasmine becomes the alpha woman, the head of the women by default. However, Jasmine can't win nothing because she too scared to put weight on that damn ankle. Listen, I ain't never seen a sprained ankle take this long. You're not even limping. You're not even trying. Like when she competed in the HOA, she is literally just hopping around. Girl, if you don't put that foot on the ground and put some weight on it, you have 2 personal trainers in that house. They can help you rehab that damn ankle if it's really that bad. Like, girl, Monty and Joseph can help you get it together. Anyway, moving on. So, anyway, that's where we are. So, when it came down for the nomination, so when he talked to Indy, of course, Indy is mad. You know, I never thought Monty would do that to me because I think her and Monty got this little flirt thing going on. But baby, Monty playing the game. He like, listen, I like you and all, but it's a game. Because she's not his target. Alyssa's his target. Now, Alyssa and Kyle's showmance is sort of already on the rocks because she done messed around and admitted that she got a person. She didn't say a man or a woman, but she said, I miss my person at home. She said, I miss my family and I miss my person. So Joseph beelined over to Kyle and said, listen, Kyle, I know you don't have a whole lot of experience with women, and I'm not trying to see you get caught up, and I damn sure don't want to see you get played on national television. So I just want to be the one to tell you, this is what she said. So, of course, Kyle is like, well, dang, like, that's messed up. And so that's why Kyle didn't give Alyssa the heads up on the blind side, because he would have, but hell, he like, shoot, you playing with me. Because now it's like, well, are you serious about this, or are you just playing with me? Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. Those are the nominations. We'll have the veto ceremony on Wednesday, and we'll see where we stand. Y'all let me know. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.